This was a classic Buffalo Sabres game, letting the fans down after finally building up some good graces and some hope. Folks, welcome back to Gatesy's Win More. Lots more, presented by Batavia Downs Gaming Hotel. And yeah, classic Buffalo Sabres. Fans are starting to believe, starting to care again. After beating the Edmonton Oilers on home ice last game, they strung together two wins. They had 2 wins and the arena was that packed. People were believing again. They had a chance to get to 500 tonight against a bottom-feeding Calgary Flames team that had 4 wins coming into tonight. Sabres were favored. They're like minus 150 going into it. So what do? What they always do. They lose 6-2 to the Flames. They got outscored 6-0 in the first and third period. They were down 2-0 in the first. You have energy in the arena. You're feeling good. You go down 2-0. They somehow clawed their way back. Credit to them. They had a good second period. They were playing their game a bit more offensively. Defensively, they're shutting things down a little bit more. They get tied 2-2 at the end of the period. How do they start the third? By giving up a goal in the first 2 minutes. Floodgates opened up. They lose 6-2 from there. Just an absolute mess. You get the chance to just grab the city, to make them care about you again for the first time in forever. And they do what they always do. They lose. People showed up. The arena was most packed it's looked all season, besides like the home opener. We all know how that home opener went. It's just so frustrating because you saw how this team played the past 2 games. The lineup was, it's still depleted. Granted, you have Dahlin back in the lineup. It's still, what you could do. You have the chance to beat a bad team. And they don't do it. And that's the most frustrating part, is it's right there. They could have at least gotten back to 500 tonight after the hell they've been through the past couple weeks, losing basically everyone of note. And if they were at 500 now, that would be incredible. They had the chance to do it against a bad Flames team, and they couldn't do it. But let's talk about the game. The goals the Sabres gave up, we'll talk about Colton Ellis later. I'll talk about these strictly from a defensive standpoint. They were all preventable. Missed assignments. You have 2 guys covering the same person, leaving a guy wide open in front of your net. This happened twice with Owen Power and Isak Roseanne. Can't happen. The amount of guys that were left unopened because the Sabres were just standing still. You have one here. It's a 5-on-2 in front of the Sabres net for the Sabres, and there's a guy completely untouched. Completely untouched. That's how they started the game. The Sabres, they need to actually, it feels like, care in their D zone, like they're in their spots, but they're not. They're almost playing reserved at times. Just go and take a guy. I would rather you do that than nothing. You got, they're getting beat to the net. Yeah. It's frustrating because the goals were preventable too. You look at Colton Ellis, he stopped, 29 of 35 tonight. A couple of them you're going to want back, but I don't know. You look at Colton Ellis too, is doomed from the start. He didn't have a black helmet. No goat head helmet for him. He was in a blue one. Why are you starting him in that case? I know it's not important, but bad omen from the get-go. You're in the NHL. He's been here for over a month now, feels like. Get him a goat head helmet. Bad look, and yeah, the Sabres lost strictly because of that helmet. They were cursed tonight. So, but serious note, it's a game like this. They beat themselves. I can't even put into words. Just it was right there. They could have done it. They were down 2-0. They came back and they threw it all away again. But it's the Buffalo Sabres we're talking about. And if I were to get just chronically angry and upset and frustrated every single game, I could not do this for all 82 games. And you watching at home couldn't do the same either. So there are some good things from tonight that show good signs for the future ahead. And if you don't want to hear that, I totally understand. There's other places for yelling and screaming about this team. First one, Mattias Samuelsson. He's on a 3-game point streak now. He scored tonight and also had an assist. He has 4 goals on the year. He had 4 goals all of last year. He's been great. He's been the Sabres' best defenseman. He's been a rock. He was moving tonight, skating-wise, that I haven't seen from him ever. I clipped one on my Twitter. I was like, what? I had to watch the clip over again. I had to go back because I was like, who the hell was that? But he's been good for the Sabres. He's producing tonight. The goal he had, he just shot it on net. The Sabres' goals, too, were they were bad. They just shot him from the outside. I could have saved at least one of them. They could have scored. They had Devin Cooley and shout out the former Sabre. He seems like a cool guy, no pun intended. But this was a game they should have won. You look at Tage's goal too, just a shot from the outside. Great thing for Tage Thompson. He's on a 4-game point streak. He has 6 points in that stretch, 3 goals in that stretch. Like, he was missing for most of the season. The Sabres needed him to produce points, and he's been doing that recently. So that is a good thing for the Sabres. And that's about it. You're going to get Jason Zucker back hopefully this weekend. Zach Benson skated today, so good signs there. They're going to get healthier. They're going to, the line's going to get better. You're going to get rid of guys in your lineup like hopefully Jordan Greenway. Tonight was another rough one for him. I just want to nuke that whole Sabres third line because it is so bad. Greenway was mic'd up tonight, and he was, cheering the boys on. Awesome. Cool. I get it's important to, keep morale high, but yeah, that third line is just, it's not there anymore. Jack Quinn was having a good start to the season before he got put, with the Greenway there, and McLeod had a rough game as well, especially defensively. Quinn thrives on speed, on the rush. That's not happening right now with this line. Nuke it into oblivion. I don't care. Get it out of here. Just not good. On that front, Alex Tuch had another step back today. He's playing well the past couple of games. He was trying to earn that contract extension, but tonight wasn't there either. It's the Sabres had success because of guys stepping up. Isak Rosén, I think, played his worst game tonight as well. Couple defensive lapses end up in the Sabres net. It's you can see how they lost. They were winning because guys were stepping up that they needed to. They didn't get that tonight. That's why they lost. Whether that be, you look back in the past couple games, the guys that stepped up from Colton Ellis, Isak Rosén, Alex Tuch, Noah Ostlund scored 2 the other day. You need that to happen. It's not going on right now for the Sabres. And did Josh Doan play today? I feel like I haven't talked about him in forever. He hasn't been that same player we saw to start the season. So hopefully he can get back to that point. And I honestly need to look it up. I have to record this a second time because the camera was incredibly out of focus the first time. So no, he did. He had 3 shots on goal. So my memory's a little foggy from when the game happened. But yeah, this team needs to get there. Ellis, yeah. This will get better. I keep telling myself it will get better, and it will. They just need to get over this mental hump of getting people to care, having fans in the stands, and actually performing for a change. Last couple things, the Dahling goal that got called off. It's not really important when you lose 6-2, but people were really upset that it got called back. I wouldn't have called it back, but I don't think it's as set in stone as people are saying online. Tage, got pushed into the goalie a bit. Cooley didn't have time to reset either because Rasmus Dahlin's in a shooting position here, and you can't really adjust there because you're going to create more holes basically, and you're going to be moving forward, which is a recipe for disaster trying to stop a puck. So, it's a wash anyways. Power play goes up for 3. That would have been a great time to get one when the game was close like that. Couldn't get it. Which sucks. Their PK continues to be the best in the league, going 1 for 1 tonight. Not too busy, but they did their job. I think the biggest news of all, the Beer Sabre is officially going to be here. Friday and Saturday home games, the long-awaited appearance. At least we have that to look forward to. But folks, it will get better. It's not just something I'm telling myself to feel better now, which it's kind of true, but you're getting Benson back soon. Zucker's coming back soon. Norris has been skating. This lineup's going to look a lot better in just a little bit, and you're going to have guys actually competing for a spot in the lineup, which I think will help. Lindy's probably not afraid to sit guys because they're playing bad. We've seen it in the past. I'm sure we'll see it this year. But folks, if you're still watching, thank you. Thank you for still watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're still here. And if you don't think I'm a big dumb idiot, please comment that down below as well. And comment how you're feeling about this team right now in the future, what you think is going to happen, and how frustrating tonight made you feel. But folks, I will see you this weekend for some games. Let's go Sabres.